So I learned early on that I was interested in technology because I love change. I love new things. I love learning about new things. And so even in high school, I knew I wanted to go into engineering, into technology basically. And I figured engineering school was a place to go for that. When I got to engineering school, I realized that it wasn't so much about technology. So I did as much computers as I could, but I didn't want to become a programmer. So I just bought myself a very early PC, even though very expensive. I spent my own money on it, and just learned everything I could about PCs. I remember sitting around reading DOS manuals and things like that to learn everything I could. Well, one of the first jobs I had out of college, I was installing computer systems at VA hospitals all around the country. And they decided they wanted a PC and a Mac at all these hospitals. So I was a project manager, and I felt it was important that I understand both platforms. I understood Windows fairly well because I already had some Windows computers. So I put a Mac on my desk next to my PC and started to learn both of them. And I quickly realized I enjoyed using the Mac so much more. You know, back in these days, you'd had spent a lot of time just configuring your PC and then reconfiguring it and figuring out what was going wrong and trying to get all the memory to work. The Mac just took care of all that, and it made it so easy to use, and I just enjoyed being on a Mac, even though at that time they were much more expensive.
So you and I play lacrosse, and we love the sport, but you had a really great experience this summer going out west, so describe that.
Right, so I turned 50 last fall, and my kids said, well, you know, they'd be willing to do whatever I wanted, and I've always wanted to take them out west to show them some of the national parks out in Utah and Colorado. So they were 100% behind it, and it happened to coincide with the World Cup in Denver, Colorado this summer. So I played on a over 45 team, and we came in third in the World Cup. It was mostly, the team was made up of Australians and Americans, and it was a lot of fun. Well, BuilderFish is unique. It's much like the dealing with Apple, and a lot of times I come back to Apple because it's a company I'm really familiar with and I've been following closely for 20 some years now. And it's the idea that quality matters and design matters, and getting things right the first time matter. Yes, it might be a little more expensive, but in the long run it tends to be less expensive and there's less headaches. And BuilderFish, I think, will end up building products that people enjoy using for a long time and will hold their value, and that's the same as Apple products.